my, my life was disrupted by technology. Uh, I did not believe in social media. I thought it was all bullshit. And so I received an invitation to go and give a TED talk, and I did not know what it was. So thank God I have my wife who's smart, and she works in the company, and she knew everything. And she said, "You're going to go." And I said, "Where?" "Christchurch." I'm in Italy. So, I mean, I was out of Milan and back to California where we live. And she said, "You're going to go to Christchurch." I said, "Okay." So I arrived in Christchurch, and I was totally jet-lagged, and I go on this stage, and there are all these cameras and people. And I had, they told me 20 minutes. It was not true. I had 17 minutes. And so I had to say, okay, I tell the story of my life. These people were headed. I will never be invited again. And I told them the story of my life, and I said that, you know, I had started in Africa, and we had made an absolute fools of ourselves because we would arrive in Africa to tell the African people what to do. They did not want what we had to offer. They did not trust us. So every single project failed. And I told the story of my first project, which was this extraordinary blunder where we arrived from Italy to teach the Zambian people agriculture. We planted all these tomatoes by the Zambezi River. When the tomatoes were nice and ripe, the hippos came out of the river and they ate everything. So I then told the story of how, you know, how arrogant we white people are. We are the most arrogant people in the world. We really think that when we show up uninvited, people will fall to their knees and kiss our feet. We are bastards. We have zero respect. We are imperialists, colonialists, and missionaries. And the only way we treat people is either as, you know, we patronize them or we are paternalistic. We treat everybody from another race as if they were our children. "Oh, we love you so much." Or if they were our servants. So I gave the most brutal TED talk in history, thinking 2 people will watch it. 2.5 million people later, I discovered that, oh my God, I have an audience. And the audience are people who say, "Ernesto, I know how bad we are, and let me tell you what we did." So now I have all these people telling me their stories about being, you know, patronizing and paternalistic, and you know, the American Peace Corps. You know, Ernesto, we went to Guatemala, and we said to these people, "Oh, we're going to build you a bridge." The local people say, "You cannot build a bridge here." I say, "Well, what do you mean? We are Americans. We are the Peace Corps. We are going to build you a bridge." So the local people say, "Okay, show us." And this guy said, "Ernesto, we built this ramp on one side of the bridge. When this massive earth embankment was finished, the rainy season came, and the river moved the margins 1 mile away. So now we had this ramp over nothing." And the local people said, "We told you you couldn't build it." And the American guy said, "What is killing me is that in 4,000 years' time, there will be an American anthropologist going through the jungle of Guatemala and will come across the ramp. And will say, I wonder what the indigenous people did with the ramp. Ah, maybe it's an astrological device. Maybe it's pointing at Orion." So now I'm saying that, you know, Stonehenge is an American Peace Corps project. It's just nothing. In any case, years ago, because I was blundering around, I decided, this is stupid. Why don't we shut up and listen to them and find out what they want? And why don't we help them transform their passion into a way of feeding the families? So I invented a new profession 30 years ago. We've done it in 300 communities around the world. And we have helped to start 60,000 businesses, and this miracle that never stops. As soon as you shut up and listen, you make friends with the local people, they tell you what they want to do. As soon as you know what they want to do, you are halfway there to help them. Because then you say, what can you do in the business? Can you make it? Can you sell it? Or can you look after the money? We never met anybody who can do these 3 things. The person who can make it, sell it, and look after the money does not exist. There is no evidence in any books of the life of entrepreneurs. You can never find a person that has the mind to do 3 things which are contradictory. So, I've done the research, I look at the life of the greatest entrepreneurs in the world, and what I discovered is that of all the successful companies in the world, the only common trait is that none of those companies was started by one person. It was always 2, 3, or 4 people. Why? Because it's impossible to be in love with coming up with the technology, with the actual, the actual software and becoming a software engineer. It is impossible if you spend 20 years in love with computer to have the passion for people, because if you have passion for people, you will not be in a lab for 20 years. So now you need to have somebody who loves people to be able to take your technology to the people. That's marketing. And product and marketing people, they don't understand money. So now you have to have somebody to say to them, hey, I understand that you really want to do this, but you have to sell it at a price that people can afford it. So you're having 3 different personalities that they have to work together. And this has been so difficult to pass on because we have invented the myth of the genius, rugged individual. So when you buy Fortune magazine, when you buy all these, magazines about successful people, you discover that on the cover there is always one face. Usually it's a white man. And then when you read the story inside, the story is full of rubbish. They really want you to believe that Bill Gates was a genius with a product, fantastic at marketing, a genius with money. When in the reality, without Paul Allen, Bill Gates would still be a dropout or playing poker at Harvard University. That was what he was doing when Paul Allen went to grab him and say, they're doing it without us, you idiot. Get out of here, stop playing poker, come and let's set up Microsoft. So Paul Allen invented the name, and the technology was not Bill Gates, it was somebody else's technology. You know the story, I don't have to repeat it. Steve Jobs without Wozniak would have been nobody. Nobody, because Steve had the product. What did Steve Jobs do? Take it to the market, have the guts, the conviction. He was the entrepreneur, not Wozniak. But I also found, Henry Ford was the same, and Carnegie, and Edison. None was alone. And then there is all this myth about the male, the rugged individual. Bullshit. Sam Walton would have never set up the Walmart without Helen, his wife. It was Sam, Helen, and Helen's father that set up the first shop. So why are we teaching this rubbish to the kids? Why we send kids to do MBAs? MBAs are really, they're so dehumanizing. People doing MBA, they really believe the business is straightforward. It's about inputs and outputs. Are you joking? Inputs and outputs? The variables are too many to predict. Business is like life. When everything goes beautifully in your business, your partner runs away with your spouse. When everything is beautiful, there is a tsunami. And these fantasists teaching MBA, they want to reduce entrepreneurship into a blueprint. You must be joking. What blueprint? What they're saying is that if you want to have Jesus Christ and Christianity, you get 12 fishermen, you put them in long robes, and you get a guy with a beard, and you're going to have Jesus Christ and the apostles. No, you're not going to have Jesus Christ and the apostles. You're not. You blueprint life. A business. And also, I'm outraged at the ignorance. I still have to find a professor of entrepreneurship who knows where the word entrepreneur comes from. Is there anybody in this room who knows where the word comes from? Which language at least? Latin. Intraprehendere. The one who among others gets it first. Intra means among, not between. I still have to find one person who knows what the word develop means, which language it comes from. So it's absolute, utter ignorance. But we blueprint. It's humanity. You know what the word company means? To break bread. Compagno is the monk, the way the monks addressed each other. Those who break bread together. You are not going to set up a company unless you trust the person next to you. Company is people who break bread together. And to have somebody having lunch and dinner with you every day, you have to like that person. You know what a company is? There's only one example that can explain it to you. Marriage. To create a new life, you have to have the male DNA and the female DNA to merge. You will never understand. A man will never understand a woman. A woman will never understand a man. Unless they merge, no new life will be born. The product people believe in the quality of the product. They're maniacs about product. The DNA is different from the marketing people. The marketing people are not interested in what you're making. They're interested in what they want. What is the need of the public that we need to satisfy? The DNA is different. The DNA of the financial manager is different from the DNA of the product person and the marketing person. So why do these three people stay together if they don't understand each other? So I want to introduce a word, love. And last night, when we heard all the conversation about technology, there's one thing that the gentleman on the stage did not mention. And what they did not mention is consciousness. The fact that technology is going to become very, very, very fast, it does not going to stop our higher needs. And I do not want technology to become like economics, the dismal science that can only satisfy our basic materialistic needs. Remember that we humans, as soon as we satisfy materialistic needs, we have other needs: companionship, creativity, love, belongingness, self-fulfillment, self-actualization. And the pyramid is open at the top. We will never stop growing. We will never stop chasing the stars. There will be never an end to our need for perfection, for beauty. Technology is a tool. Consciousness is forever growing. Technology will never catch up with us. Never, ever. Thank you.